Everybody here to our Tampa Bay Rays out of the park 27 long-term save. And we are back here for the All-Star break and the deadline. I do want to address something. If you guys watched all the way to the end in the last video, it kind of got cut off short, like I didn't do my normal outro. That's on me. I edited the video, and then I realized that I didn't finish doing what I was doing, which was showcasing the rest of the 2035 draft. So I'll do that in this video. And I also want to shout out, last episode was episode numero 50. So thank y'all so much for just sitting here and watching me play this game. I've been having so much fun playing this. I love I've had a blast just doing these Rays. I don't know. I've had such a good time. It feels like it's flown right by. It feels like I just started this and we're in 2035. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. It's been such a fun little passion project for me. So I appreciate that. Before I dive into the draft, I do want to showcase a trade that we have ready to roll with here. We needed a roster spot for Capelli, who also Demeat Hook. I wonder if people have been tweaking about the fact that I keep calling him Demeat Hook. I do know whose nickname that is from. That's on me for not addressing it earlier. Dimitri Young, Demeat Hook. I just found that out recently. So that's on me. That's on me that Demeat Hook wasn't in my vernacular and in my ball knowledge. But it is now. So shout out Capelli taking Dimitri Young's nickname. But we need a roster spot for him to come back up. And we have a trade. We are going to send statistically our worst pitcher away. Here it is. So Jack O'Connor has been kind of a dude for us. He's been around. His per-nines really aren't that bad. We just need a roster spot. I like Jack O'Connor. I feel like he's been consistent and solid. But a negative WAR this season, his numbers aren't bad. I'm not gonna just come here and lie to you guys and be like, oh, he sucks, get rid of him. But a guy who's about to make $8.5 million, who isn't a consistent starting pitcher for us, I think it's time. I'm okay with moving on. Free up the money, free up the roster spot. So Jack O'Connor will be sent to the Mariners. Again, it feels like I always trade with the Mariners, the Rockies, or Guardians, but it's not on purpose. But the Mariners did have an offer. They're going to send us back. Prospect starting pitcher Mike Adams, one of those three-pitch guys. If he fully develops, he could be an absolute stud, but he does not have a good personality class whatsoever. Just an intriguing enough kind of a guy. And again, we were going to have to waive and DFA O'Connor. So the fact that we're getting something in return is a win just in and of itself. So Jack O'Connor heading to the Mariners. That'll be the first of our moves. We're not selling, though. I want that to be kind of prevalent. This is a move to get Capelli back up. We're still going to go and try and acquire talent for our rosters. We make yet another push to the postseason. And since we are just through the All-Star break, I'll dive through the rosters and what's happened, and then I'll showcase our draft class, the rest of it, in a moment. This year, no starting pitchers for our Tampa Bay Rays, but we do get a pair of relievers. Brandon Livingston kind of surprised me to see him make it, but it shouldn't have. He's been really, really good. So Brandon Livingston makes his first All-Star game. We have him locked up till 2040 on very cheap money, so I'm glad we made that deal. He becomes a one-time All-Star. Aaron Sheet, no surprise, gets his third All-Star nod. One of the best closers in the game, maybe the best closer in the American League. Our boy, Aaron Sheet, absolute stud. I'm not sure we have anyone else. I'll be completely honest. We don't. No one else for us. I did see Junior Camanero's here for the Boston Red Sox, which is exciting, but no longer with our roster. Here's the NL team, in case you guys were curious. Joe Fry, not a name I'm familiar with, but two-time All-Star here for the Phils. There's that. I'll be completely transparent with you guys. I did search for a trade for Chalowski. I'm curious to see what you guys would think about that. Obviously, I'm recording these pretty well in advance. It is. This video will probably come out in the month of July, and I'm recording this second week or first. What's the date today? That's on me, guys. I should probably know the date. It is, first week of June as I'm recording this. So you guys, you might have an opinion. You might disagree with the move I make. I won't see it for a while, but I'm definitely thinking about shopping, saying goodbye to Chalowski. He has this player opt out, so even if he does opt back into it, $17 million after the performance he gave this season, I'm kind of reluctant. We also have Montoya, who I think can play shortstop. So I don't. We might as well cash in on the value. Is my thought process. And as I was shopping trades, I wonder if they'll still be here. Um, just to show you guys what we're looking at. There is a ton of value with Rock Chalowski. You see multiple 60-60 guys. I understand it's a bunch of relievers, and it's the Red Sox. I'm not trading him to the Red Sox. But Bubba Chandler we know is really solid. He's a former Ray. Not a guy we'll go for, but like look at Mark Botsford here for the Reds. He's a stud. He's on pace for a 4-WAR season in just his third year in the major leagues. A guy who has the potential to get even better than he is. High work ethic starter. Like, these are the type of people that we could be getting. Like, Victor Hurtado is also very good. High power guy who, for some reason, is at AAA for them. Like, it isn't like tiny offers. Like, these are good offers. I want to scroll down to the Mets because they offered us two big ones in Carson Benj and Pete Crow Armstrong. Important to note that both these guys are on like $40 million a year. Benj is on until his age 36 season. So it's not just like, oh, you're getting a stud and nothing else for it. But it's interesting. I'm definitely going to explore this to its full extent. If we have a trade, I will obviously showcase it. And if we don't, we don't. But while I'm here, let's showcase the rest of our draft from the last episode. We take a look. So we took Lamping first round, then Rodriguez, Morrow, Dito. I think you guys saw Javi Henderson or Hernandez get picked, I think. We like him. And then we took the other catcher. We took B. He was just still there. Figured why not. Then we took Alan Spies or Spies. I don't know. Minnesotan, high work ethic, 60 outfield range, 55 potential power. Figured why not. Then we took Adam Strait, a 22-year-old, another college bat to fill up the minor leagues. Then we took Brian Wickett, another catcher, really good framing, high work ethic, 50 power potential. I figured that made sense. And then we took Nick Bledsoe here, high work ethic, 80 grade potential fastball in the future. He doesn't throw it anywhere near the strike zone. So, from Waukesha, where my brother was born, shout out. And then we took Matt Logue, first baseman, high work ethic. I don't know. This class got unbelievably weak late into this class, so it just gets a little weird. Charlie Benson we took, Canadian guy. And then we took Adam McDaniel, 50 power potential, 75 speed, high work ethic. But, it just gets so bad at a certain point. Danny Gloria we took from New York. Yep. We took Keanu Reeves. No, I'm kidding. We took Kevin Reeves here, elite speed, another New York guy, high work ethic. Maybe he could become something. 16th round, we took Josh Gaber. Not much going on with Josh. He was fast, so maybe he can run his way to the big leagues. And then we took Ellen Liza, not Lizzo, Liza, her older sister. 5-pitch reliever, intriguing enough. And then we took Tony Orozco, high work ethic outfielder, doesn't have much going for him other than that. And then we took Rick Johnson, which is just an interesting name. High work ethic guy, good outfielder. That's about it. And then in the 20th round, we took Joe Burden, high work ethic, another catcher. Yeah, that was the class. That's what it's looking like. In case you're wondering about our first round picks last year, Jose Baltazar is at AA, doing pretty good. His potential has gone down, but it was like 50 to 45 is fine. Could be a guy who scares the big league club at some point. Maybe in September or maybe next year fighting for a spot. And then our other first round pick, where am I? Linebach, supplemental pick at high A. Not really hitting, which we didn't expect him to. So hopefully he can figure that out. Yeah, just a small little update. Obviously these classes got really weak later on. So what are you going to do? Yeah, well, we'll keep things rolling here into the All-Star break. I forgot to mention the game, who won. The NL team did win. If we take a look at our guys, we only had one. Did we have anyone in the lineup? I don't think so, right? No one in the lineup for us. Pitching wise, Trey Savage, former Ray, but Braden Livingston got in. He was good, and then Aaron Shee must have been tired. So not a lot of Rays representation this year, but what are you gonna do? The NL wins again. It's just like it's unbelievably dominant. Where's the home run derby? Now Lance Connor won the home run derby over David Jensen, who we know about, the big slugger for the Marlins. But Lance Connor, a shortstop for the San Diego Padres, ended up winning it. They got him in a trade for Tyson Harden, who I do think is real, but I have no clue who he is. So Lance Connor here must have just, 25, 45 guy who's just exploded onto the scene. And is a dude here for the dads. I hope he's not playing short. Oh my God, he's playing short. -7 ZR in 40 games. Yikes. But he won the home run derby, so shout him out. But yeah, that's where we stand right now. We obviously lead the division by 2.5 games. Expect some moves to come here. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a blockbuster trade. Might be one of the bigger ones we've made in this series. I understand we had the Caminero trade. We had the Carson Williams trade. We had that first trade way back in year 1. Was that year 1 or 2 where we traded Yandy and Aranda for Angel Martinez and co. A lot of big trades. I think you guys know what I like to do. But we have another big one right here. We're saying goodbye. So when we started this save, the first agenda, one of the first things I mentioned was the second overall pick. And with that, we want to Rock Chalowski. That was one of the first things we talked about. And it's time. It's run its course with Chalowski. It's been an interesting tenure. He's accumulated WAR because of some elite defense, but never above, a career average of 93 WRC plus, a 681 OPS, 120 career homers with us. We're saying goodbye. It's the end of an era with Chalowski on 20 mil this year. We'll see if he opts in or out and see what the Phillies do. But Chalowski, we're wishing him luck, and we're ending this era of the Tampa Bay Rays. We're also sending Nick Bennett, a reliever we took in the 16th round back in 2032, if you guys remember that. 2 really elite pitches. Not a guy who's ever going to be up for me. I'm never going to play someone with 25 control. I'm just not going to do it. So we're going to say goodbye. Maybe he becomes something. If he does, fantastic job by the Phillies. But no, I'm not playing that. So we're going to send him. We also are sending Miguel Prieto. Might be the heart of this deal, maybe the top guy that they would want. I forget exactly, minor league free agent, so I don't know why it says that. Interesting. We got this guy, I think, literally just a minor league free agent. Must have gotten released from a DSL team and has ended up with us. So this is the heart of the trade, I think. This is a solid player. Durable, great eye. Seemingly kind of what they are wanting. We're sending him. And then the other bigger prospect will be Juan Nieto. Been really solid at A-ball for us, former international free agent guy. But a lot of the time, in the way, my philosophy, at least when I play out of the park, is I'm okay trading relievers of almost any variety, especially when it gets me a player that we're going to get, which I'll show you in a moment. Juan Nieto, 18 years old. We're in a moment where right now we're in a very buying mode. This guy's extremely expendable to me. I understand that we have guys who we developed out of the bullpen, like Sheet, Capelli, and Livingston, where you're like, why would you even say that? You have 3 of your best players are here. I would put Sheet and Livingston in a very different category than I'd put Nieto. They're just different in a lot of ways. Even Capelli, I thought about trading way back when. Or at least he was someone that I was always like, yeah, like we could, if we needed to, trade him. So that's kind of the philosophy I'm bringing here. Nieto, I'm fine trading every single one of these players. And we're getting the big guy. Dylan Scarcella here from the Philadelphia Phillies. We are acquiring in the midst of a 2.8 WAR, 143 WRC plus season. We're going and getting the dude. He's been solid in Philly, and he's finally put it all together here this season. We love his ratings. Doesn't strike out. Good contact. Great gap power. Hits for some power as well. Hit 19 homers a year ago. Hitting 300 this year. They got him back in the Carson DeMartini trade. We played him when he was in Detroit. And he's just developed and become a dude here for them. And now for us, he's going to be our star outfielder. This is the move we're making. Take a look at the lineup right now. Brunson's 91 WRC plus, Malachi Washington 93 WRC plus. Shout out Malachi Lawrence, by the way, for ball knowers out there. Oh man, I love the NFL draft. I'm getting on a tangent. There's too much going on. This is the move we're making. Goodbye, Rock Chalowski. Franchise altering. There we go. All right, here on July 26th, we are making yet another move to improve our ball club. If you guys take a look, we just got swept in 4 games by the Blue Jays after sweeping the Red Sox. Yeah, weird. I don't know. But I decided we need another pitcher. If you take a look at the FIP minuses and the WAR leaders in general on this team, we have 4 starting pitchers who are below league average. Right now, Isaiah Frazier is out. He got another bicep tendonitis thing. So he's the only guy who's like above league average, but he's missed time multiple times this season. So we elected to make a move here. Wachter's also above league average. So we've elected to make a move here to acquire another starting pitcher. The trading block this year is pretty weak. Admittedly, I probably could have explored outside the trade block, but if a guy's on the block, they're going to be a lot easier to obtain. So what we're doing is sending our former first-round pick, Alfonso Alvarez, to the Miami Marlins. I really wish Alfonso would have turned out. I really do. Oops, that's the wrong thing. He did have a great year at AA the one year. He had like a 6 WAR season. Moved him up AAA. He was solid. It was too slow. It never materialized. So a former first-round pick we are going to send to the Miami Marlins and bring in Angel Bastardo, who has been in the midst of career best season for him, on pace for 3.6 WAR, 3 ERA guy. Another guy who does struggle with control, but I feel okay about it. He came over to them. He also has a no-hitter in this save against the New York Yankees in 2034, so there's that. He came over in this big trade that the Marlins made to the Rockies, where they sent Boniface, who we sent to them, if you guys remember, for Angel Martinez. So Boniface was a part of that. I really wish it didn't back out and go there. And then they sent this 2 first base prospects, second base prospect, and a starting pitcher prospect. So like 4 decent players to get Bastardo, and they've elected to move on right after that. They've elected, you know what, not working. We're gonna say goodbye. They're blowing it up, and we will reap the reward. We'll bring in Bastardo for Alfonso Alvarez. There we go. You know, we mentioned that the New York Mets were willing to trade Pete Crow Armstrong, and they just did. They have sent him, in the second time Pete Crow Armstrong has been involved in a major trade. This time they send him to a division rival in the Washington Nationals. They're getting back just a glut of prospects here. It looks like this Adam Watkins is the heart of it, who I think they acquired. Oh, no. They did just sign him. I thought they acquired him. This guy's going back to the Mets. He'll be a big leaguer. They're sending away Pete Crow. So he is, for a second time, has been dealt. Hasn't been great this year, but it's like, I don't know. Pete Crow Armstrong, for me in real life, I think is just going to be one of those guys who can put up this, like what he did in real life, 80 WRC plus, and then like a 7 WAR season where he hits, and then the next season he's 100 WRC plus. But he's always going to play elite defense. If he can hit too, then holy shit, he's a stud. Yeah, he gets traded for a second time. The Mets seemingly blowing it up. If we take a look, they are 47-60, so makes sense. And the Nationals get a whole hell of a lot better by making that move. All right, everybody, we have officially made it to August 1st. We have made our moves that we're going to make for the rest of the season. Take a quick look at things, see what's going on around our team as well as the league real quick. First of all, I want to try and get better at the players of the month, kind of keep you guys updated on what's going on around the league. So yeah, to no surprise, this MFer is still doing it. John Gonzalez, what has he got? 4 MVPs. About to go get number 5, Barry Bonds Jr. Just doing the damn thing. Yeah, I got no other words for him. Freak of nature. Pablo Ruiz. This is the guy the Dodgers got from the Twinkies in the Yamamoto trade. He's looking to try and win an MVP out in the National League. He wins Player of the Month. What a dog. He's playing second, it seems. Yeah, not very well, but if you're a second baseman and hitting like this, then my God, what second baseman hit like that? Pitcher of the month goes to Gilberto Batista here for the Toronto Blue Jays. 3-pitch guy, fly ball, but he throws hard and it's working because of it. So there's that. In the National League, it's Adam Miller, a closer here for the Cincinnati Reds. He just has the most gross curveball you've ever seen, and you can't touch it. He is the best at throwing that breaking ball in all of baseball. Extremely good player. Very good chance he wins the NL Reliever of the Year. Shares my birthday, so he's the man. Yeah, a lefty-lefty curveball that's as a guy who's a left-handed bat, a lefty-lefty curveball is my worst nightmare. Adam Miller looks to be a stud for the Reds. And then Wayne Ray, another closer, will win. This is a Rookie of the Month now. The American League Rookie of the Month, another closer. 2 elite pitches, another elite curveball from a lefty. Nickname is Garbage, and maybe that's just describing his curveball. I don't think that made any sense. Very good player. Good for the Tigers. Wins Rookie of the Month. And then Lance Connor, the winner of the Home Run Derby, wins Rookie of the Month in the National League. If we take a look around the rest of the major leagues, we are tied for first in the AL East with the New York Yankees. We kind of had a lackluster closing to the season. After the All-Star break, we didn't look great, but 14-11, I meant the month, not the season. In July, not very good down the stretch, but I think we'll be fine. We take a look in the Central. The Royals lead currently with the Tigers on their heels. The Mariners lead out west with the Rangers on their heels. Once again, just the American League, if you finish above 500, you're probably going to make the postseason. That's just fact of the matter. I'm really thinking about this offseason or an offseason in the future, doing the whole realignment and adding 2 expansion teams. I need to trial and error it, though, in a different save before I add it to this one because I definitely don't want to mess that up. So, yeah, look forward to that maybe this offseason, maybe not. Anyway. In the NL West, the Giants are unbelievably good, 73-36. They're building a new dynasty. That's what's happening there. The Dodgers, who would be first in every division in the American League, are 8.5 games back of the Giants. So there's that. Then in the Central, the Brewers are unbelievable. I don't know. The Brewers are very much so like the regular season champs. They just can't perform in the postseason. Maybe they will this year. But once again, they're just dogging teams in the regular season. The Cardinals, Reds, and Pirates and Cubs really all still in this postseason race as well. So we'll see who wins that. And then in the NL East, as we've come to know them, the Nationals are running this right now with the Braves and Marlins on their heels. But it seems like the Nationals division to lose. In the American League, the batting title leader right now is that infielder Lorenzo Garza for the Royals. Looks to be kind of the new Bobby Witt in a way. Not with the glove, but more with the bat. Yeah, this is why I turned down Scout Discovers, because this is the type of player, if you did a save where you have Scout Discovery turned all the way up, there would be about 40 of guys like Lorenzo Garza. I don't know what it is with this game this year, but they love their Scout Discoveries. One of our best players right now, Ramon Casillas, is a Scout Discovery. So, they're all around. Let's just put it that way. Home run leaders, though, he's third. Brian Nelson leads for the Twins. Ethan Holiday's up here, despite having a fractured finger, so he will miss a majority of the rest of the season, so that's no good. John Gonzalez, to no one's surprise, leading the league in OPS and WAR. Pitching-wise, we see Savage, a former Ray, Landon Harmon, not someone I'm too familiar with here for the Orioles, claimed off waivers, having a great year. And then Trevor Heishman, where'd he go? Trevor Heishman, absolute stud, just been super consistent for Detroit throughout this entire save. Strikeout leaders tied. Mike Higdon for the Twinkies is up here. Don't know much about him, but he's a 3-pitch guy. They got a minor league free agent, so was not drafted, joined Georgia Southern, and then signed a 1-year deal with them back in 2031. And now he's leading baseball in strikeouts, which is pretty cool. Sheet tied with Munoz for save leader, and then the wins above replacement in the American League is Eric Matos for pitchers, the 3-pitch guy from the Athletics. In the National League, Josh Jackson trying to take over that batting title throne over Blake Caporn. Mario Negron is also here, former top prospect for the Nationals, putting it all together. I wonder if Josh Jackson got extended. He did. They paid him. Okay. Because I was like, man, the team's been so bad. Maybe he'll be a free agent at some point. Maybe at some point, but not anytime soon. They gave him a bag. He'll be there till after 2040. Pablo Ruiz, we mentioned, he's leading the league in homers. Matthew Moses, not someone I'm familiar with here for Milwaukee. He's third in homers. So he's a guy who's really in their minor league system right now. So if you guys know about Matthew Moses, maybe watch out for him. He was a 25-35 guy when he was 18 years old, has developed all the way into this, and now third in baseball in home runs. Pablo Ruiz, one dotting, the one guy in the National League to do that. Josh Jackson, though, leads the league in WAR. Just a stud. I would love to have a guy like Josh Jackson. Who wouldn't, though? Obviously, you'd love to have a guy like that. But he's one of my favorite players that's been in this save. Just even though he's not been on our team, just a stud. WAR or ERA leaders, McClanahan still a sub-2 ERA here for the Dads. He's a Hall of Famer to me. I feel like I would vote for him if he comes up, despite the metrics not liking it. I always submit a ballot in the game. Call me a nerd. I don't care. McClanahan's this peak. It's interesting. There's a debate, just in general, with how you vote for Hall of Famers, especially the Jacob deGrom question, stuff like that. If deGrom or Felix Hernandez get in the Hall of Fame, so does McClanahan with this resume. But that's not a topic for discussion today. But Sebastian Pena, the elite 3-pitch pitcher for the Brewers, leading the league in WAR. He's got a good chance to win the Cy Young. That's what the league's looking like. If we look at our Rays, nothing too crazy has changed. We haven't made any moves. I called up Leonardo Pineda, who we got from San Diego, for Torkelson, who, by the way, is raking for them, so go figure. I called him up to be the fourth outfielder. I wanted him to – I trust his defense more, so he's backing us up in the outfield a good bit. Nothing too crazy, though. This is what we're doing. Roberto Montoya is starting at shortstop. That is the plan, with Franklin Arias going to start at third, but he will split time with Matias Palacio, who we claimed off waivers a while back. So I might even make Palacio the starter and then go to Arias every second day, just because Palacio is hitting really well. Dylan Scarcella has been excellent, 129 WRC plus through 9 games for us. So yeah, that's what things were looking like. Look at the pitchers, nothing too crazy. We did just kind of look at all this. So let's get through the month of August. We'll get to September, see where we're at in terms of the playoff race, in terms of the AL East race, and then we'll make our September call-ups, as we will have Isaiah Frazier be back soon. So we'll get him on the team, get him on a rehab assignment. He'll be one of the guys who joins the team as a September call-up, essentially, because I'm not going to send Trevor Rogers or one of these guys down. So yeah, that's what we got rolling with. I will update you guys once we get to September. All right, we are near the end of the month of August, and we have made a move. More so, just not made a move, but we have extended Chad Tetzloff. 101 WRC plus through his first 30 games. Perfectly fine. Expected batting average, expected slugging, both in really good spots. We trust that he's going to develop. He's 22 years old, so we're going to lock up, hopefully, our first baseman of the future, get him to a 7-year, $35 million deal. buy out all his arbitration, and when the money goes up, we'll have team options. So pretty slam dunk deal for our former first-round pick here in Chad Tetzloff. He'll be back for a long time. All right, everybody, we have made it to September 1st. Therefore, we have made it to September call-ups. If you take a look over at our standings, we are currently tied for first place with the Red Sox. The Blue Jays a game and a half back. The Yankees 3.5 games back. It's quite competitive, guys. It's a dogfight. We're hoping to win it. We have 2 players we can add, and we have 2 players we're going to. Malachi Washington was shut down with a concussion. Looks like he has a small sprained knee. He's been terrible at AAA, but we'll add him back. And then Isaiah Frazier made a few starts down at AAA. He did not make 7 starts. Like that wasn't this time. He's been on 2 or 3 rehab assignments, which has led him to kind of rack up a good amount of time at AAA, despite not really, not meant to be at AAA, obviously. So he will replace Trevor Rogers in the starting rotation. If we take a look at the lineup, let's get Malachi Washington back in center field and Chase Brunson back as the corner outfield backup guy. But no, the team was not great. I'll be completely honest. Not very good. The month of August, we went 12-16. Objectively bad. Not ideal. A lot of those one-run games that we were winning early in the season, we started losing there in August. I mean, we've had 48 one-run games this season, which is absolutely absurd. That feels like way more than normal. And we're 24-24. Before the month of August, we were much better. We're probably like 20-16 or something. So to go like 4-8 in those games kind of puts you in a spot where you're not going to have a good record. The offense continuing to struggle, the pitching continuing to be the anchor for us. If we take a look at that pitching staff, once again, it's just the bullpen. The starters have been kind of whatever. Wachter was off to a good start, but the last few times he's went out, not great. So, not ideal. Umeda's actually getting his game going. Just 3 straight starts of 6 innings, 10 Ks in Toronto, 2 shutouts in a row for him. So Umeda's really getting his season rolling, so we're really happy to see that. I think that in the offseason I might actually look to increase his velocity because I noticed that he is like a power fastball first pitcher, and if he throws harder, then he's going to be like unhittable. So hopefully I remember to do that. But he's obviously a guy we're heavily invested in, so we would love for him to play well. Our reigning Cy Young winner, Sean Youngerman, just continuing to kind of struggle. Not ideal, of course. Under the hood numbers are a bit better than where we think he should be, but he's not what he was a year ago. I think we knew that a season ago that he was kind of getting a little lucky. Obviously, his BABIP led the league. So hopefully he can piece it together so we can have a good close to the season as well as use him as a starter, assuming we make it to the postseason. Angel Bastardo has had a very up and down, rocky start with the Rays here. A 5.4 ERA, but the under the hood numbers look really nice. Fit minus of just 97. So, yeah, it's interesting. It's kind of middle of the pack. Not exactly what we were hoping for when we traded for him. But luckily, we have the best bullpen in baseball, maybe one of the better bullpens ever. If you take a look, we have 5 different guys with 1+ WAR out of the bullpen. Fisher's almost to 1 WAR. Capelli's at 0.3, so he's probably not getting there. But 5 different players with 1+ WAR out of the bullpen is insane. Sheet, 1.8 WAR, on pace for 2 as our closer at 40 saves. We'll see if he can get to 50 here in the month of September. Brandon Livingston, 1.6 WAR. He's been excellent, a 70 fit minus. See if he can get to 2 WAR. He's been absolutely awesome out of our bullpen. Terrence Milby, who I felt like might have been, I don't know what you guys thought about the trade where we went and sent away Jordan Walker. I felt like it probably a little controversial getting just like a reliever back, but he's been everything and more for us. Almost 2 WAR, maybe our best pitcher this season in general. Where Jordan Walker has been solid, 804 OPS for the Braves, but again, WAR is going to be dampened by the lack of defensive flexibility. So we feel pretty good about that. Adrian Morihone also down here. He just got shelled a week ago, so his WAR went down. But his fit minus is still one of the best. Doesn't walk anyone, doesn't allow homers. So, a 3% walk rate is absolutely absurd. We love to see that. And then Miguel Cime Jr. is having a legacy season. Unbelievable stuff. 2 WAR already. Very good chance that he goes and wins the reliever of the year in the American League. He's a free agent after this year, and he wants to get paid. We are already paying Aaron Sheet, as well as extensions for Capelli and Livingston and Milby. So this is probably the end of the road here for Cime Jr. We can obviously throw a comp pick and likely get a first-round pick. First-round supplemental pick in the offseason. But for right now, the focus is obviously winning a ring with Cime Jr. while he's here. If you guys remember, we traded Bubba Chandler for him. So I think it worked out because Washington moved on from Bubba pretty shortly after. Like, he just became a free agent. And Bubba Chandler's put together a really nice career. Obviously, we kind of misread that one a little bit. If we look at the lineups, Scarcella's kind of been fine. He's been dealing with his hip flexor. I don't know if I should put him on the IL for it, but it's been like since we've had him, he's had that issue. And now it's like I feel like I messed it up and I'm like too late to add him to the IL because like now we need him because it's the last month of the year. So obviously take kind of his numbers with a grain of salt. Like, he's still playing very well, but he is playing through like this injury that's been lingering. So we'll kind of see. Casillas has continued to be really good, one of our best bats. 31 homers, already slugged. Top percentile in this home run fly ball, barrel rate, hard hit rate, max evo, exit velocity, and average velocity. Strikes out a ton. That's okay. He's great. We take a look. Palacio's been excellent. The waiver claim. Good chance for him to be like a top of the order bat for us. Mark Korab is playing a little bit more, and he's hitting well, so we like to see that. If you guys remember, we got him from Vegas for Matt Doherty, who has been terrible for them as well. So, silver lining. Mike Plummer had a really nice month of August, so hopefully he can keep that rolling into September, help us push for the postseason. Franklin Arias continues to be really solid on the corner. We'll take it. Learning third, but he's still playing like good defense over there, or at least good enough. So that's fine. Berto Montoya, it looks like his bat has struggled a little bit as he's moved over to short, but a guy we have full faith in. We know what he can do. Only 24 years old. Not worried about Roberto Montoya. And then Chad Tetzloff, kind of his power's gotten up to 50, which that just happened. So he's continuing to develop. We trust him. I'm not worried about him whatsoever. Daniel Alana's played whatever. Abel's been, 3 WAR. He's kind of turned into like Daniel Pierce a little bit, where like you expect his bat to be better, but it isn't. I don't know. Trey Abel, that 7 WAR season feels like a fever dream at this rate, but he is having a better year than he did 2 seasons ago. Still playing really good defense. I don't know. Same with Malachi Washington. It feels like this 115, 120 WRC plus kind of pace he set feels like a pipe dream now. It's like he can't hit. I don't know what it is with some of these guys who aren't just progressively getting worse on a linear scale. We don't love that. And then Daniel Alana playing a little bit versus lefties. Kind of whatever. Carter Jensen, I don't know if I talked about him earlier, but is very solid. I actually feel pretty good about the contract that we gave him. I don't really see us bringing him back on the team option next year, but we'll appreciate what he's done for us this season. We wanted a catcher who could hit, and he's done that to a T so far. So that's what we're looking like as we go into the month of September. Let's do a quick look at the awards. John Gonzalez, surprise, surprise, still the best player in baseball and still winning the Player of the Month, on pace for almost a 10 WAR season. I kind of hope he gets there. We haven't seen a 10 WAR season yet, I don't think. I know it kind of happens in real life sometimes more than it does in the game, but he hasn't even eclipsed that yet. So that would be pretty cool. I think he did. I mean, look at all these injuries, guys. I'm a little worried. He could literally become like Ken Griffey in a way, which we don't want. We want the best players to be healthy. I mean, if he retired today, I think he's a Hall of Famer. So, John Gonzalez, just a freak. The Ferrari wins it in the National League for Player of the Month. Looks like he was just clubbing homers, as expected. I did try to trade for him in the offseason, by the way. yeah, I don't know. Just guess I'll throw that in there. Bubba Chandler, pitcher of the month in the American League. Mark Botsford, the guy that the Reds were offering us a while back, wins pitcher of the month. Yeah, stud. I mean, if he's still available at some point next year, I'm going to, maybe we'll take a gander. I doubt he would be. He's a freak. I don't know why they trade him. But he wins pitcher of the month. Wayne Ray, the closer for the Tigers, wins rookie of the month once more, as well as Eric Becker, who was a 2031 draft pick. Wasn't he in an earlier class? I feel like I know Eric Becker. Maybe I'm losing it, but he wins rookie of the month for Miami. He's been actually really, really good for them. Unfortunately, fractured hand will pretty much end his season, but we'll see if he gets any rookie of the year votes. And then we also have another thing to report on. Carlos Perez, our top prospect, now the number 8 prospect in all of baseball. Look at what he was doing at high A this year. 2.68 ERA, elite per nines, 3.3 WAR. He has officially been called up to Double A. See how the kid can do there. We're really excited to see him continue to develop. If he just gets, if he gets to where he should, if he even gets to a 65 overall and this thing's get there, he's an absolute stud. The stamina scares me a little. It does, I'll admit, but the stuff is ridiculous. Hopefully he can develop and get there. Yeah, that's what things are looking like here. On September 1st, I will update you guys as the playoff race ensues. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have officially made it to the conclusion of the 2035 regular season. And as you can see, we have indeed won the AL East. Hard-fought battle. This was a fun season. I'll admit, I had a ton of fun simming this season, making the moves. I have fun in this game when things get very dramatic and you have a low budget. You got to work things around. You got to make all these trades. You got to say goodbye to a bunch of guys. You got to say hello to a bunch of guys. Felt like that's what this season was. We did quite a lot of work. But we're here. We won the AL East, so let's take a look at how we did that. We have our playoff roster set. At least all the guys that are going to be on it as of right now. So let's do the lineup first. Well, first, let's take a look at the team stats. September, we went 19-7. The boys showed up. We take a look. We walked off San Diego in the first game of the month, and then we took 2 or 3 from the Mets, walking them off in the third. And then we played the Rangers, who were, fighting for the playoffs, and we sweep them in 4 games. I don't know how many times, because the schedule is the same schedule every year, I'm pretty sure, or at least eerily similar. And majority of the time we play the Rangers here in a 4-game set on the road. I think we've swept them in this set in the 10 years we've done it 6 times. I'm telling you, every year it feels like we've swept the Rangers in September. But then we parlayed that into a series loss to Atlanta. But then we swept Houston, took 2 of 3 from Vegas. And then what won us the division? We take 2 of 3 from Boston and 2 and 3. 2 of 3 from New York. Pretty much solidified it. I think we clinched on this first New York win. And then took 2 of 3 from Philly at the end of the year, crowning us the AL East champs. So let's take a look at the lineup, take a look at the guys who got us there. I forgot to look at the team stats. Twice now I've done that. The lineup did struggle. It was not where we wanted it to be, not where we expected it to be. But, at the end of every year, you probably couldn't tell what year it was when we look at this page. You'd be like, oh, this is every single season. We're first and second in every single thing in the pitching category, and we're middle of the pack to bottom of the league and hitting every single year. It's just the way it goes, I guess. It's the way we build our teams. Pitching staff, we've talked a lot about how unbelievable the bullpen was, and they were unbelievable. Yet again, first in runs allowed, first in pretty much everything here. Second in ZR for the first time in a while. The pitching's ridiculous. We know that. We'll dive into it. That's what the team stats look like. We did finish 6 games above our Pythagorean, so hopefully that doesn't really come back to bite us come the postseason. But let's take a look at this lineup, take a look at the team that got us here. Roberto Montoya, the leadoff man, started at short. 3.64 season, definitely a down year after he exploded onto the scene last year. But I fully believe in Montoya to bounce back. We did give him the big money extension, so We wouldn't have done that if we didn't think he was going to be a stud. I'm excited to see what he does full-time at shortstop next year. Played well there in the last 50 games this season. I have full faith in Roberto. We take a look. He was really solid in September, really helped us get over the top, 118 WRC plus after struggling in August. So a guy that we are fully confident in. Struggle versus right-handed hitting or pitching this year. I'm not too worried about it, though. I think he's going to be just fine. Then we take a look at the number 2 guy, Mike Plummer, hit second, 104 WRC plus. He also was really solid in September. Must have struggled like the last week or so. Yeah. Must have been really bad this last week. Yeah, terrible. He went 1 for 21 to end the season. But before that, in September, he was a main reason why we swept Texas, why we got through a good core of these, like the last 2 weeks here. He was a big reason that the lineup came through and won us a lot of games. Mike Plummer, a dude. We're excited to see what he can do in the postseason. Dylan Scarcella, for some reason, just played bad defense. I don't really understand why 65 outfield range doesn't work. Like, I literally couldn't tell you. In left field, -3 ZR. In right field, -2 ZR. I don't get it whatsoever. He didn't play to the level we expected him to play. He was dealing with that nagging injury, weird defensive issues, but still an above-average hitter. Obviously, we need more than that. I'm going to be pretty pissed if he doesn't explode in the postseason because this is a guy that we need to be playing well. But all in all, total had a good season. Just with Tampa here with us, it got worse. If we take a look at the Rock Chalowski, got shoulder tendonitis. He missed the end of the year, but he was an 87 WRC plus player for Philly, kind of where he's been the last pretty much his whole career. He got hurt, though, to close the season. And then Nick Bennett was up for them as well. He had he had 7.4 walks per 9 and 2 home run per 9. But 17K per 9, I didn't even see that. Holy shit, 17K per 9 is crazy. But a negative player because of the walks and the home runs. But that is just, I mean, it's literally Wild Thing reincarnated there with Nick Bennett. Yeah, that's that. You know, that's what the trade looked like. I don't regret it. Yeah, let's move on. Ramon Casillas was objectively probably our best player this season. He hit 39 homers, the most we've had on our team ever since we've done this save. I think that Pete Alonso got to 38. I don't know that he ever clubbed 39. In 864 OPS, 133 WRC plus. If he just played better defense, or if he played defense at all, he probably would be like a 4-WAR player. But he didn't. I mean, he's not a good glove whatsoever. Played a little bit of third, was bad. He's solid at first, but only got 22 starts over there since Tetzloff came up, which is fine. He can be the DH, and he can club homers as much as he wants. Hopefully he can keep it going in the postseason. He was excellent. And then hitting fifth, Matthias Palacio. We claimed off waivers, gave him a good amount of run at the end of the season. He ended up just around a 100 WRC plus for the Raisins in particular. So him and Arias will split time when it comes to the postseason. I'll likely give Arias the nod since the September here for Palacio was pretty disastrous. But Franklin Arias likely to start over him. Yeah, that's the way it is. And then Carter Jensen behind the plate. 2.3 WAR, exactly what he did a year ago. That's all we asked for, really. We just wanted a catcher who could hit, and he did what we asked of him. So I'm not going to be too upset about the contract we gave him. He won't be back next year. We'll figure out the catcher position. But I'm really happy with the way Carter Jensen played. I'm not going to keep paying him, though. It's just the fact of the matter. Trey Abel, second baseman, hit 7th. 3.5 WAR season, but once again a below league average bat. 96 WRC plus was an improvement from last year. His glove was even better than last year. Had a really nice season at second. See if he can go grab his second Gold Glove. But once again, we need his bat to improve. I don't know. I don't know what happened. I don't know if the ball was juiced in those years and now he can't hit. But we do have a $7.5 million team option to decide upon next season. I would be shocked if we declined it. $7.5 million for a player who's going to give you 4 WAR with great middle infield defense. Pretty much a slam dunk that Abel will be back. Still looking for him to channel that 2033 campaign once again. And then Chad Tetzloff, the first baseman, 109 WRC plus on his first go-around in the big leagues. First baseman of the future, we trust him to be a dude. We're going to put him back in the lab. He had a successful one for more bat speed, so I'm going to definitely put him back in for that. I know that's one thing that if you put them in once and they're successful, they're like more likely to be successful again. I feel like I've been doing a poor job of taking advantage of that. So I think that was a big reason why Isaiah Frazier got worse, because we had put him in multiple times for pitch movement and he was unsuccessful multiple times. So when we did it again, the game just was like, you're a moron. He's not going to get better. In fact, he's going to get worse. So I think that's kind of what happened there. But with Tetzloff, 65 power potential, if he can get to that, watch out. And then the 9-hitter Malachi Washington actually finished the season on a really high note, ended up getting to 103 WRC+, 3-WAR player, 18 homers. So in a season where he missed time, him to get to that number is really nice. His money bumps to $10 million next year, and we're okay with that. Take a look in September. He was awesome. 150 WRC+, clubbed 4 homers. He was great. Really, really nice. So hopefully he can ride that high into the postseason. Really like what he looked like. In terms of the bench bats, Mark Korab, who we got from Vegas, clubbed 9 homers and 36 starts, had an 805 OPS. I don't really know where he plays in the postseason, but he's someone that we definitely want to give a look to. He does play very well versus lefties, so maybe he DHs versus lefties. Tetzloff moves to the bench. I think that's what we have going right now. Yeah, Casillas plays first versus lefties. Korab DHs. Yeah, he's definitely a pinch hit option versus righties. He had a really nice year. Franklin Arias, we mentioned, will likely start at third in the postseason. He put together a really nice season in 80 games. 113 WRC+, better than expected. 1.6 WAR. He's kind of the new Aiva Arquette, where we just signed a minor league free agent, came up, and just played well for us on a league minimum. So really happy with the way Franklin Arias played. Like I mentioned, he'll start at third in the postseason for us. And then Daniel Alana, backup catcher duties this year. He was fine, 10 homers. Didn't hit as well as he has in the past. But under the hood numbers look really nice. Perfectly fine with Alana. And then Chase Brunson, really disappointing, to be completely honest. 82 WRC+. Hasn't done what he's done in the past, where he's just exploded with the bat. Yeah, his tenure as a Ray likely comes to an end once $8 million next year for a guy who put up .2 WAR in 135 games. That's pretty impossible to do. So it's been one hell of a run for Brunson. We know he's a playoff performer, so hopefully he can perform in this postseason. But that's the lineup. Those are the bats. Let's go to the strength of this roster, the strength of this team. Maybe the best bullpen I've ever built, or we've ever built. That sounded so egotistical. But let's look at the rotation first. Sean Youngerman was bad. Really not good. Allowed more homers than you'd like. His home runs allowed did dip. He is on a player option, so we'll see if he accepts that. I'd be pretty surprised if he didn't. Although 23 mil is what he wants, 17 mil is where the player option is. So if he doesn't accept it, I probably wouldn't look to bring him back, despite winning a Cy Young just 1 year ago. Power pitcher with the home runs allowed that it's at. It's a little worrisome. Under the hood numbers do look nice, so I think we're going to use him in a more of a bullpen role in the postseason, maybe a stopper role. I haven't decided yet, so take that with a grain of salt. But just below league average after winning a Cy Young. Not what you want. Not what you want from the guy who was meant to be the ace. And then Takumi Umeda was 3.14 ERA, league average FIP minus, but 2.5 WAR. He was dynamite down the stretch. If we take a look here in August and September, had a 1.08 ERA into a 2 ERA, 51 FIP minus, 97 FIP minus. He was. I'm not sure you could find me a pitcher who was as good or better than him in the final 10 starts of the year. Lights out for Umeda. We're excited to see him go in the postseason. He will be one of our starters, one of our stars. Absolute dog. Caden Wachter in his second full season here in Tampa Bay puts together a really nice campaign once again. Not to the extent he did the year before. Had a bit of a walk issue this year. kind of similar to what he had in Pittsburgh. I'm not worried about him, though. He was really solid down the stretch as well. In July, he was really, really good. I guess he wasn't solid down the stretch. I don't know why I have a memory of him being good down the stretch. Maybe he had like 1 or 2 good starts, so maybe I'm misremembering. But Wachter, likely to be a starter for one of these postseason games. Wasn't his best year, but he has a team option. We'll see if he opts into this. I would expect him to, $25 million for 2 years. I wouldn't be surprised if Wachter is back on that. And $25 million for a pitcher who we know his capability can get up to 3.5 WAR. Yeah, that's for later though. We'll figure that out. Angel Bastardo actually put up a really nice 12 starts with us. Got his ERA back below 4 per 9s in a spot that were eerily reminiscent of his time in Miami. Very good player. He will be one of the starters in the postseason. Like the way he played. Happy with the trade for him. And then Isaiah Frazier ended up with a sub-3 ERA at 2.99. Had a bit of a walk issue, but he was one of our best starters this year. Happy with the way he played, despite all of kind of the drama surrounding him. 26 years old, I would expect his ratings to just be what they are right now, which is a little scary because we do have him extended long-term, but it's not for big money. But those were the starters this year. Let's take a look at the money makers in the bullpen. Trevor Rogers, first of all, started 22 games, 5 games in the bullpen. Really good, really solid. Pretty much what we wanted and expected from him. So, welcome back, Trevor Rogers. We missed you. Did his thing. And then David Breaux, we called up. He was a 5th-round pick. He got 6 games, 15 innings. Really solid per 9s. A couple more homers than you'd like, but that's really like the strength of his game is not allowing homers. So I think he's going to be just fine. Under the hood numbers look awesome, so we elected to let him be on the playoff roster as a long reliever. Braden Fisher, another fine season, 83 FIP minus, 117 ERA plus. Put together pretty much a 1 WAR campaign. We extended him to a $2 million deal. Another good year for Braden Fisher, another commodity in our bullpen. Happy with the way he played. Brandon Livingston was awesome. One of our best relievers this year. Was great. One of the more reliable. Having a very reliable lefty like him is really nice. Elite per 9, 79 FIP minus, 1.5 WAR. What's not to like there? Excellent by Livingston. Then Capelli was actually really good. He struggled a little bit, I feel like, throughout the season to the point where he was in the minors for a while. I think that was in like June and July. He wasn't playing very great. And then in September, he was lights out. 14 1/3 of scoreless baseball, 33 FIP minus, no home runs, barely walked anyone, 9K per 9. Doesn't get much better than that. So he's riding a high as we head to the postseason. He was excellent. Then Adrian Morejon was also really, really good. His ERA did get inflated near the end, kind of got hit down the stretch. But once again, doesn't walk people, doesn't really allow homers. Put together a 1 WAR campaign for a guy who is making $4 million and met his vesting options. So a guy that would definitely want to raise next year. I guess not, but I would assume he would have wanted to raise. We get him back for cheap. And then to the big 3 of this bullpen, Terrence Milby was absolutely awesome. He was so good. We mentioned it throughout the year how good he was. Kept it going. Never really had a downside to his season. Sidearm, extreme ground ball. That's always going to work. I'm so happy we extended him long term. Like, this is such a good deal for us. 68 FIP minus, 2.2 WAR. Absolute stud. And then Miguel Cime Jr. right there with him. Absolute dog. And what is likely his last season here in Tampa. We appreciate everything he's been able to do. Hopefully we can go get a ring. Excellent per 9s, 56 FIP minus, 2.3 WAR. Electric. Unbelievably good. He's been such a good Ray. And then Aaron Sheet is probably going to win another reliever of the year. 48 saves, a 1.76 ERA, 2.6 WAR. What's not to like about Aaron Sheet? What a year. Just awesome. Aaron Sheet's the man. He just is the man. I'm glad we took him in that supplemental round. Let me take a look at the 2030. Who was our first round pick? Because we took Sheet after, and I was like, we got to wait. So we took Pitts, who sucked. Who sucked? What am I saying? Just never able to develop. And then we got lucky that Sheet was there Took him, took Gene Simmons. Yeah, we're getting distracted. Covarrubias was in this class. This is the reliever class. Right. All right. Getting distracted. This video is running a little long on recording. But that's what we look like. Let's do a quick look around the league. 3 teams coming out of the AL East once again for the postseason. Red Sox and Blue Jays make it right behind us. 2 teams from the AL Central, bit of a surprise. The Royals and Tigers make it. Mariners win the AL West. The Nationals win the NL East with no one else making it, so the Braves won't be back in the postseason. 3 teams from the NL Central, kind of as expected. Brewers win 100 games and make it. Cardinals and Reds follow them. Giants won 106 games. They're unbelievable. They have made the postseason as well as the LA Dodgers. In terms of league leaders, Casillas was one off the home run crown, which went to John Gonzalez, who's looking to win yet another MVP. Most home runs of his career, 40 homers. Put up an 8.7 WAR. Didn't get to 10 WAR like we thought he could. Unbelievable baseball player. Lorenzo Garza won the batting title, though. Expect him to start fighting John Gonzalez for those MVPs in the American League. He's coming up, 22 years old doing that. Kind of reminiscent of Aaron Judge and Bobby Witt Jr. a little bit. That's fun. Gonzalez led in WAR, though. Trevor Heishman led the ERA crown with Umeda. Kind of surprisingly to me, finished in 3rd for that. I didn't expect to see that, which is pretty cool. Aaron Sheet led the league in saves. Eric Matos got the WAR crown for pitchers in the American League. In the National League, Blake Kaporan once again goes and gets a batting title. He's an absolute stud for the Cubbies. Josh Jackson right here and a teammate of his, Bob Garcia. Don't know how the Diamondbacks are still bad, but Diamondbacks going to Diamondback. Matthew Moses ended up winning that home run crown. He was like 3rd place earlier. Not a lot of homers hit in the National League side. Connor Griffin stole 64 bags. Josh Jackson led the league in OPS. It looks like it's his award to lose for the MVP, likely to lock up his 2nd, as he was also the WAR leader. Connor Griffin and Lombard hanging around. Sebastian Pena might give him some run, though. He won the Triple Crown, 19 wins, 2.24 ERA, 59 FIP minus, 7 WAR. Maybe the best season we've seen from a starting pitcher yet. I don't think that's crazy to say that. Clanahan once again faded down the stretch, but still put together an unbelievable campaign for San Diego. Interested to see what his free agency looks like. But yeah, that's what that's looking like. Adam Miller got to 50 saves for the Reds, by the way. So the elite curveball guy goes and leads the league in saves in the National League. But yeah, that's what the 2035 season looked like. Thank you guys once again so much for watching. I'm having a blast doing this. So thank you again. And as always, go Rays.